Yes. What's going on, people, man? Hope you guys are blessed. Listen, this is going to be a relatively quick video, man. We have to talk about Marcus Rashford. He is, I don't know, man. I don't know. He's been one of the best players in Europe this season, specifically, of course, for Barcelona, but just in general, in terms of obviously watching him, since he moved to Barcelona, coming from Manchester United, there was always this kind of energy, in terms of, a player who hadn't really fulfilled his potential, a player that we were always still kind of looking at and thinking, yeah, but we think you can do more. We think you should be doing more, but at this moment in time, you ain't doing more. Do you get what I mean? So, yeah, it was a little bit of that, and of course, he was going to Barcelona at the end of the day. I mean, listen, Manchester United. They're Manchester United, but they're not the Manchester United that we know, and we know that they're the biggest club and one of the biggest clubs in the world, and that blah blah blah. He's not a part of that Manchester United. This Manchester United that we're seeing, let's say in the last 10 years, yeah, this is one of the worst football clubs in general. I've said this a million times. They're one of the worst football clubs when we're just looking at it in the landscape of, or in the context of the last like 10 years. He's been a part of that. Now, he's had some form of success, of course, under Van Gaal, of course, getting his debut. Mourinho obviously coming in, Solskjaer as well, getting a good tune out of him. So he's had a little bit of that success, but he hasn't really been able to build and grow. He hasn't really been able to push forward with it, for whatever reason. And I know some people are gonna give you the yes because he doesn't take this, whatever. The reality is I don't really know. I don't support Manchester United, right? So I don't really know the ins and outs. So I can't. I'd only be speculating at this point. So, and to be honest, I know a lot of Manchester United fans are quite biased as well when it comes to Marcus Rashford. I don't know what it is, but yeah, there's something in that. Whatever it is, I don't know, but there's something in that. The newspapers, the media, for some weird reason. Well, I say weird reason. I think I know the reason, but there's a reason as to why they keep kind of, I would say, almost disrespecting Marcus Rashford, if I'm being honest with you, and prying into his private life and all of these other kind of things. It's weird. It's very, very weird. I'll tell you that. It's like a little bit uncomfortable, at times when I think about Marcus Rashford and, just his time at, Manchester United. And then, of course, he had to go on loan to Villa and, just kind of do his thing there. But since moving to Barcelona, now listen, it's only the beginning of the season. So listen, he could tail off completely between, I don't know, now the 22nd of October to the end of the season. We might never see Marcus Rashford again or in this kind of form. But up until now, he's easily been one of the best players in Europe. And especially in the, in the Champions League, man, he's just been on fire. Last night against Olympiacos, Barcelona absolutely ran riot, as I thought they would. Marcus Rashford again playing his part for the team. And you can just kind of see, like, usually, like, I do this, right? You guys already know, right? I'll do this kind of series, or looking at players and stuff like that, and we just take a look, right? And I go into a little bit more depth and stuff like that. I'm trying to just change it up a little bit in terms of how we look at it. But when we're looking at like Marcus Rashford, I mean, this is in the Champions League in itself. Obviously, you've got Kylian Mbappe, Harry Kane. I'm sure Haaland is probably somewhere on this list, but goals and assists, he's got five. He's level with, Kylian Mbappe at this current moment in time. But that only kind of tells like half the story. Like, it's for me, it's just like his overall kind of impact, in my opinion, since joining Barcelona. That's just, I've looked at him and listen, I had question marks. And the thing is, I actually like Rashford. I've always said, yeah, Marcus Rashford has talent. He has talent. The problem that he's having is that you, with talent, are at a club that doesn't allow you to really flourish with that talent. You don't have the circumstances. And everybody knows in football, it's all about the environment. We've seen it. We've seen McTominay go from being laughed at and everyone talking about, yeah, McFred, and like that's mad, by the way, Manchester United fans. That's actually crazy. But they call him man McFred. Like all of that stuff, to being Ballon d'Or nominee, in the Ballon d'Or listing, winning Serie A, Player of the Year. Like what? And we're not talking about, oh yeah, he's gone to no disrespect, but he's gone like Lithuania and gone playing that league, and we just never heard about him, and he's flourishing over there, then I'd be like, okay, yeah, but you're fair enough. But bro, we're talking about he's in Serie A. He's doing a madness. We're talking about Marcus Rashford going to La Liga, playing for one of the biggest clubs on the planet and doing well. We're talking about Anthony going to Real Betis, playing in the Liga as well. This is what I'm saying. The common denominator is always going to be Manchester United. So players are never going to flourish there at this moment in time under this kind of pretext. So I've always thought this guy's got talent. He was on the way, yeah. If he was able to like continue the form and the kind of potential that he had, yeah, let's say 3 or 4 seasons ago. Let's say, I don't know, whenever he bagged like 30 goals in that season, I think maybe under Ollie, right? If he was able to just continue that, the rubbing Mbappe's head in that after beating them lot in Paris, I think it was pink kit. Yeah, bro, I watched that game and I said, yeah, no, Rashford is like, you know what I'm saying? Rashford is he looks like he could match a Kylian Mbappe. And what I mean is maybe not obviously score as many goals and stuff like that. Obviously, Kylian Mbappe is Kylian Mbappe, but I still feel like, yeah, no, he might not even be that far off. They're very similar in terms of their kind of style of play anyway. And I reckon if you put them if if managers were able to, well, if they try to emulate almost what an Mbappe does in terms of his position and his role, yeah, I reckon Marcus Rashford could do that. Like I didn't look at Rashford and think, oh yeah, you can't do this, you can't do that, but it just never really happened and it never really materialized. So it was always that kind of potential, not really there, etc., etc. But I'm telling you, this brother is talented. I'm telling you, but he's got skills. You know what I mean? He's quick, he's strong, he's got a rocket of a shot. He can take free kicks. Like he can finish. Like all you just needed was the, like I said, it's the environment. Get the environment part right. You're good to go. You are good to go. And like I said, this season he's just been on smokes. I said, nah, we got to talk about Marcus Rashford. Do you get what I mean? Like listen, I could have a deeper conversation in regards to, like I said, looking at Manchester United. And maybe if Amarim were to get sacked, or maybe during the next international break, I might take a look at something like that. But in general, right now, Rashford deserves his flowers. And I don't think anyone could realistically disagree that he deserves the flowers that he should be getting at this current moment in time because he's been on job. He's doing his thing. Do you get what I'm saying? So yeah, man. Really, this video was just more to big up Marcus Rashford, big up for what you're doing. Like I said, you've been on smoke, you've been on fire. Keep going, keep doing what you're doing. It's helping Barcelona, so I really can't complain, in that kind of regards. But just in a general sense, for you, for your career, who knows what happens at the end of the season? Manchester United might be in a better place. Like I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Weirder things have obviously happened, but that's something that could easily happen. Barcelona could be in a better place come the end of the season. Manchester United could be in a better place come the end of the season. Now, all of a sudden, you're looking at the situation, you're looking at things, and you're thinking, you know what? Maybe I could go back and I could be almost a catalyst now for that kind of change. Where I'm a different person. I've experienced a new country, a new league, a new style of football. Because we know that Barcelona is all about identity. Do you get what I'm saying? They're all about the identity. They've had this identity since God knows when. So I've now been able to look at that. I've gone to another big club, in terms of globally, commercially, and all that kind of stuff. I was at Manchester United, who are obviously a big, massive club, but I've now gone to another one. I've seen how they work. I've seen how they do things. Maybe I could potentially come back. Who knows, though? You have such a good season. Barcelona might think, let's try and sign you. So really and truly, it's kind of like a win-win for him. In if he continues, of course. If he don't, then you fall off and you tail off and all these kind of things. Then yeah, but it does become a little bit of an issue, of course. But at this moment in time, like I said, man, Rashford has been on job, man, and I'm loving what I'm seeing of Marcus Rashford. Like I've said, I've always thought he's a good player, always liked his kind of style of football, the kind of things that he does, and yeah, I think moving forward, we just have to wait and see. We just have to wait and see. Like it is just one of those. Like we can't predict the future. He might get injured, God forbid. In the next game, who knows? But right now, I just feel like he is because he's been able to leave Manchester United. It's like it's just easy. You're in a different country now. It's not really about that. Not every Man United fan is watching your every move, your every game. Whereas obviously, if you're playing for their club, rightfully so, you'd be watching every game, watching every move. What's he doing on social media? This, that, but all of these kind of things. So, yeah, man. Listen, I hope he leaves Manchester United. I think, like I said, just one of the worst run clubs at this moment in time. They don't deserve to have happiness at this moment in time until they decide to fix up. yeah, yeah, you don't deserve it. So why would I want you to have good players? Do you know what I'm saying? Like you need to earn that right, and right now they're not earning that right. So until they do, we just have to wait and see what happens with a lot of their players. To be honest with you, so yeah, let's wait and see. Let's wait and see, man. But like I said, man, big up to Marcus Rashford. And yeah, let me know your thoughts about Rashford. Let me know. You know what? Let me know your kind of your feelings towards Rashford prior to his move to Barcelona